Yo, 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 what's up, y'all? I'm so excited to be back here on the pod. So excited. Today, I cooked up for y'all the 5 signs athletes are not advocating for themselves. And this is so important because athletes oftentimes, because they're afraid to speak up for whatever reason, they end up hurting themselves, hurting the team, and just making things worse for everybody in the long run. So I'm giving you these 5 signs so you guys will not repeat these mistakes that so many athletes do today. The 5 signs that athletes are not advocating for themselves are: 1, your injury keeps getting worse. 2, you keep on getting injured. 3, you don't know your role. 4, you are not getting better. And 5, you are behind in school. So let's get into the first sign. Your injury keeps on getting worse. If your injury keeps getting worse, it's time to speak up, okay? As soon as you feel something is off, y'all, as soon as you feel something is going to affect your performance in a traumatic way, you need to let someone know. For my young athletes that are playing AAU and club, notify your coach or your parent. Let them know in advance that something's wrong. For my college athletes, you need to notify your strength coach and your trainer as well as your coach, okay? It doesn't have to be a big ordeal, but just letting them know, like, my knees are kind of hurting, or my back is kind of feeling weird. That's so important. The reason why, as college athletes, we need to notify our athletic trainers is because, 1, they can give us rehab. They went to school to serve you, okay? So use them. Like, tell them, my quad is hurting, my glutes feel weak, or whatever the situation is, because they can give you rehab that will help your injury. Also, treatment. They can help you ice. In college, there's Normatec, there's ice and stem. Some colleges have workout pools, right? All the things, Graston, cupping, those are things that are going to help your injury, okay? And that's what you want. You want to be able to play. For your strength coach, right? They can also give you exercises and stretches. Like, I loved my strength coaches because they definitely played a huge part of my endurance and my strength in the game, okay? Also, your strength coaches, especially at the highest level, right? They're the ones giving you your workouts. So when you step in the weight room, they're going to push you. They're going to push you to lift your heaviest, to squat your max, okay? And if you have something that's hurting that they're unaware of, you're going to cause yourself to be hurt, and you're going to cause them to push you in a way that they were never supposed to in the season you're in, okay? So when you let them know, they can modify your workouts so that way you're still building strength but not aggravating the injury. And what they both have in common that you want as an athlete is their advocacy, okay? You want them to be able to speak on your behalf. How many of us athletes know those players, right, that always be hurt when it's time to run? That always be hurt when it's time to do something hard. You don't even want to put that in their mind, right? That you're trying to get out of something, or that your teammates, that you're trying to leave them hanging. No, talk to your coaches in advance. Let people know. Not in a way that you're complaining to everyone around you. I'm not saying do that, but I'm saying to the people that are your authority as far as managing your body and helping you progress, tell them. Because when it gets time to stop, they can say, well, he's been coming in, he's been doing the work. He's actually been working on his body, and like, it's hurting. He probably needs to sit out. Like, we've done all we could do. Versus, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why she's not playing. And then you're kind of out there on the island. You don't want to do that, okay? I'm giving you guys tea. Let people know in advance so they can help you and also advocate for you, all right? Secondly, with this, y'all, trust your gut. Trust your gut. It's so hard as a competitor like myself. I'm extremely competitive, and I have pride in what I do, and I have pride in my ability to serve my team. And sometimes it's hard to sit out, right? It's hard. But you know what's even harder? Sitting out even longer or injuring yourself to the point where you're missing the whole season. That sucks even more. So if you need a couple days, y'all, we're on our body constantly. okay? Whether you're in high school and you're training, whatever, when you get to the next level, like, you're constantly using your physical body, and you need to be able to give it rest. Sometimes it's like that, okay? And you cannot do yourself a disservice by pushing yourself past your limits, okay? Know yourself, know your worth to the team, and give yourself that time to rest, okay? Trust your gut, okay? Even if, because there's some times where your coach may think you're being soft, or maybe even your teammates, and that sucks. But I promise you, if you rest and you come back hungrier and focus, they will respect your decision, and they would know that they can trust you in the future. Okay? So my second sign, the second sign athletes are not advocating for themselves, is you keep on getting injured. You know, that one that's just like always sick or always getting hurt. Like, they just tripping, right? So if you are a person that continues to get hurt, you need to make a rehab plan. Okay? Sometimes rehab is to rectify an injury, and sometimes rehab is to prevent an injury. I know for me, it's been so amazing because my 6th year in college, right? 5th year playing, I was in the best shape of my life. Like, I got hurt less than all of my teammates that year. I was the most flexible. I was the most strong. I had the most endurance. And also what I did that year is I was always in the training room. I didn't like it because it kind of reminded me of when I was hurt and I was always in the training room. I was like, I'm never going in there again. Like, I'm never stepping foot. But it helps to be proactive with your body, okay? It totally helps. If you are prone to get hurt, it's essential that you are always being proactive with strengthening, stretching, and recovery. It's essential, okay? Some people don't have to do rehab at all. Just like some people don't have to be in the gym all the time, and they can still hoop, or they can still play ball, or they can still hit the ball hard, whatever. They can still make good reads. Some people have to do it a lot. You got to be honest with yourself and figure out what makes you tick, what helps you perform at your highest level, okay? So I encourage you also with your body to be in tune with it. Take time to say, okay, what do I need to do? I need to stretch. It's easy for me to just, go to sleep or take a nap, but I'm going to take that extra 10 to 15 minutes to foam roll or to roll out. It's so important. It makes a difference. It's annoying, but it's even more annoying to be hurt and not play. All right? So if you want a lot from your body, you have to put a lot in. Moral of the story. Okay? Next, the third sign that you're not advocating for yourself as an athlete is that you don't know your role. How many of us have been frustrated because we were confused on our role? I know I have, and it's so annoying. Like, maybe you're doing too much, maybe you're doing too little. It's so important to know your role. If you don't, it's time to take initiative and talk to your coach, okay? Sometimes it's scary, but you want to eliminate that confusion, okay? When you know your role, it helps build your confidence, okay? It helps build your confidence and the strengths that your coach wants you to display, okay? That your coach wants to use. It also helps you hone in on your craft, on your gifts. And when you hone in on your gifts, you can take pride in them, which will then allow you to be consistent, which will then allow you to be dependable. And now you're building trust in your teammates, and now you're building trust in your coach. And there's nothing more satisfying than a dependable teammate, or for a coach, a dependable player that they know if I put this person out there, they're going to do their job 99% of the time, right? Because we all have our bad days, but somebody has to be able to look at you and say, I know he's going to tackle him. I know he's going to give 100% effort, or I know she's going to go in the game. She's going to play lockdown defense. She can guard the best player. They're not getting their average tonight. That's what you want to have, okay? You want to be dependable. You want somebody to be like, I'm going to war with him. If I'm going to battle, I'm taking her. That's what you guys want, right? Here's the caveat to this. If you ask your coach what your role is, you have to be able to take it. You have to be able to take it. As athletes, we often have our own perception, our own desires, our own goals of what we want our season and our personal expression of our gifts to look like. That's totally fair, and you should keep them. Just like we have them, our coaches also have them. And not just for you, but for the whole entire team. They're managing 15 for basketball, football, over 100. Like, is it over 100? Y'all, if it's not, just please forgive me. I don't be counting all the football people. But however many people on your team, they're managing that as well. So your dream isn't their main focus. And you have to be able to take it if the role they want you to be in isn't the role you want. I know for me, it was hard. My last year, I had an idea of the type of player I wanted to be and the type of time I wanted to have, and it didn't always meet my expectations, and it sucked. But you know what felt good? Being reliable. When I step in the game, I'm reliable and I'm doing my job well, and that my teammates could count on me and that my coach can count on me, that no matter what's going on, I'm doing my job and I'm excelling in it. That feels good. That's something to kind of have a chip on your shoulder with. Like, regardless, I'm going to eat. You know what I'm saying? Whether you have me here or there, I'm going to eat regardless. That's the mindset we got to have, y'all. Okay? Let's get into our fourth sign that athletes aren't advocating for themselves. The fourth sign is that you are not getting better. This happens so often, especially in college. And if you're not getting better and you're frustrated with your growth, it's time to create a plan. I would encourage you to write out your strengths and your weaknesses. Write out your strengths so you're not just overwhelmed by all your weaknesses, right? And then write down your weaknesses so you can know what to focus on in your off season, right? Write them down and then reflect on why you're not getting better. Reflect on why you keep struggling in the areas you want to excel in. Maybe you're not getting enough game reps. Maybe you need to do some drills outside of practice to get that type of intensity. Maybe you need to watch more film. Maybe you need more skill training or strength training. Whatever it is, maybe you're in your head, okay? Whatever the reason is you're not excelling, you need to utilize the resources around you, okay? If you're an AAU, if you're a young athlete or a club, ask a parent or a coach or a friend. Ask them, what could I get better at? Okay? And I would say, and for my AAU people, I know it feels really intense. Y'all trying to get a scholarship, or my club people, like, listen, don't ask your coach, what can you do better after the first two tournaments? Like, give it some time to, mesh out. I just want to leave that there. Give it some time. It's all right, okay? It's okay. But you need to be honest with yourself about what you're struggling with and then go get help to get better. If you're a college athlete, ask your coach. Ask a GA to help you with skill training, okay? Ask the trainer or whomever. You have resources around you. Use them to help you be the person and the player you want to be. All right? And sometimes you're just in your head. Sometimes you're doing all the right things. You're doing extra practice. You're doing extra drills. And you're going to your GAs. You're watching film. And you're still in your head. And that sucks. And trust me, I've been there. It's happened to the best of us, okay? Everybody has those days. Everybody makes mistakes. Like Hannah Montana said it best, right? We all have those days. I would encourage you to just think about it. Like, why am I in my head? Am I actually putting all the work in? Am I being consistent every time I step on the floor and in practice? And like I said earlier, sometimes you are. You really are. And you're just stuck. And if you are stuck, if you're saying, yes, that's me, Nia, like you're literally preaching to the choir, don't even trip, y'all, because I got a pod coming to y'all. Make sure you check it out. And I'm going to teach you how to get out of your head and in the game. So overall, the message is use every resource you have. okay? To be the player you want to be. That is the key. Last but not least, the fifth sign you're not advocating for yourself as an athlete is that you are behind in school. I know this is everybody's favorite topic, right? Look, it's okay if you don't like school. It's really all right. It's not for everybody. But check it out. If you want to play sports and if you want to play in the next level, you got to be able to manage your school. I mean, that's why you're called a student athlete. You can't just hoop. It's not the pros, right? If you want to take that route and go overseas, like if you mellow or something, like that's on you. But most of us aren't. Most of us are going the college route to then go pro, right? So you have to be able to meet the standard required in order to play. I'm not saying you got to be a 4.0 student, but what I am saying is make sure you're not jeopardizing your talents and your team and the wins that you could have, okay? Like you can end up missing games, championships, conferences in college. You cannot graduate on time, so now you're paying for extra classes on your own dime outside of the scholarship, right? Or maybe you're taking classes that you don't even need and you're wasting your time. I've seen it, y'all. I've seen it. It's not fun. It doesn't feel good, right? You got to take initiative with that. So if you're falling behind in class or you struggle with school, this is what you need to do. You need to become friends with your teachers, college athletes, with your teachers and your academic advisors. Why do I say this? Remember the example I gave earlier with your strength coaches and your trainers with your coaches? Same thing with the teachers, okay? Especially in high school. Like, say if you're struggling in the class and grade checks are coming, maybe instead of a F, they're going to give you a C minus, right? So you can play because your teacher knows that you are coming in after class. You're asking them for more homework. You're asking them for more help, whatever you need to do to learn. So they're going to give you grace because they're like, this person's working hard. They're not being careless. They're being responsible. That's that grace you want, right? That grace space in college, right? You got to talk to your professors. Like this whole sitting in the back of the class falling asleep stuff is only cute for so long until you can't play, right? It gets old, all right? And as an academic advisor, they're managing so many people, you guys. You have to take initiative for your life and your career. Maybe you're in a season where you have a lot of games and you're traveling a lot. You can advocate for yourself to your academic advisor and say, you know what, like, can I take this class in the springtime because I'll have more time to get this done. Or, this professor I heard wasn't good. Is there another professor taking this course, doing this course? That's what you guys got to do, or you're going to keep following the same cycle. Another thing you need to do is get organized. For me, what really helped me, I was able to get 2 degrees and a certification in my time. Y'all know I had to be organized, okay? I had to be organized, and I was passionate about basketball. I was hooping. So I had to be able to manage all those things, manage getting extra work in, getting my rehab in, doing my school. I had to manage that. I was organized. Get you a planner, get you a calendar, and put things down. One pro tip I could give y'all is plan out your week before, so you're not falling into decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is when you get tired or anxious with having to navigate and choose so many things at one time to where you kind of get the, paralysis analysis or analysis by paralysis, whatever it is. That is what you want to avoid. By me mapping out my week, I'm able to say, you know what, on this day, I got a lot of games, I got meetings, I'm going to just do this assignment. That takes 30 minutes. And maybe I'm going to do it in the morning. And you know what? On Friday, I have a lot of time. So this is the day I'm going to start my exam or my final paper, right? So when you look at what you have to do, all you have to do is execute. And you're not allowing your feelings to sway you and allow you to choose things that aren't best for your academic and athletic future. Okay? Last thing on the school, y'all, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't let your pride affect your ability to be as successful as you can be. And don't fall into this, oh, I'm dumb. You're not dumb. You're not slow. You're not stupid. There's just some things that are harder to do. There's some things you've never seen before. There's some subjects you just don't like, which also makes it hard to learn. Don't fall into that negativity. Say, what do I need to do to be successful? And success looks different for everyone. Like I said, it doesn't always mean an A+. It can mean a C+. It can mean a B-. Whatever it is, right? There's a certain standard you have to meet to play. Let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it. Let's get it done. Because you can. So that concludes my pod on the 5 signs us as athletes are just not advocating for ourselves. All right, with a little bit of tips so you guys can avoid the trap that so many athletes fall into today. I love you guys. You can definitely do it. Okay, when you feel like giving up, know you can definitely do it. And I hope to see you again on the next pod. Bye.